It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gate.
Episode 36 of Two Guys and a Goalie. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you very much for listening. Maybe you're streaming it live on Facebook. Maybe you are downloading the podcast at a later date. We also love you as well. Nielsen, Gage, you laugh like you don't love them.
No, I do.
Oh.
I just you've never said that before. I just found that funny.
That is new. That is new. Cass, how uptight are you today?
Scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10.
8.
Ooh, man, we're going to have to loosen you up a bit.
Well,
You want me to make a butt joke? What if I went like this?
That's not going to help.
Shakira.
That's not gonna help.
That's not going to help
You know
either.
what? You know, we're going to talk about it. Obviously, the Flames Oilers, but I'm uptight about this whole situation.
You're uptight about the Battle of Alberta right now?
Yeah.
Is that because you're having like PTSD as a fighter or something?
No.
Or- so then why are you up? So what's wrong? Wait a second. Let me set up the show first.
Set up the show first.
Okay, we're presented to you by Oddshark, the presenting sponsor, oddshark.com. Scott Hastings from Oddshark joins us. I can't wait till he comes on Thursday. And wait, how many yards? Yeah, Mahomes had more than 23 yards rushing, didn't he? Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I knew that was going to hit. Carey Price saves, please. Then we'll get to your Popeyes chicken poll question. Sport Clip haircuts, keep it or clip it. Where it's good to be a guy, home of the MVP experience.
He had 29 yards.
Yeah, so he passed.
Oh, it's close.
That was a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Who'd
but
they play, though?
Still would have paid off. Who, the Habs?
Yeah.
Jackets. Yeah.
Jackets have been winning a whole bunch, too.
Price only had like 26 shots, led in 23.
Ugh.
I think that's what it was. All right, there. Now the show is set up. We'll play Keep It or Clip It a little bit later on. Obviously, lots to get to, including the Battle of Alberta. But Cass, why are you uptight about the BOA?
Well, you know what? Like this whole fighting in hockey thing and violence, it just is horrible for the game. And you go to a hockey game and you want to watch goals, you want to watch skill plays, and it's all about speed. And how on earth is anyone expected to watch and be excited and to have fun watching hockey if there's fights, the goalies are fighting, people are getting kicked out, it's setting a bad role models, like horrible examples, and it's just terrible for the game, terrible for the sport. It could cause all kinds of concussions and all kinds of problems and long-term things, and it's just not exciting, and it's horrible and awful, and I bet every single person that watched that game in Calgary went home and they were upset, and they probably all called the Calgary ticket office in the morning and asked for their money back because it was just so horrible and so awful that we just need to get that out of the game right now.
That's weird. I liked it.
Well, you're a barbaric man.
No,
Horrible.
Seriously,
Shame on you.
how much were you losing your
That
mind?
was awesome. Like, how could you not get excited for that?
Man.
It was, and just the tension between the teams. And not just that game, but even after the game before, with everyone around the league watching it and paying attention to it. It's like, how is this bad for the game? This is great for the game. Little bit of anger makes it so much more fun.
Oh, so much more enjoyable to watch. We had a blast. We were together.
It was
watching that.
weird watching a goalie fight with a former NHL goalie. It was weird.
I broke bread with Dusty watching that game. It was quite enjoyable. Yeah.
We were invited we were invited to a watch party with a bunch of Oilers fans.
Thanks for
No, talk to Gregor.
Talk to Gregor.
Look, dude,
to go to
hey,
this thing.
we were just as surprised that Gregor invited us to this thing. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, it was the scraping the bottom of the barrel on that one. How
He
many
was
guys
like,
said no?
I need a media guy and a former NHLer. Like on very short notice. And so we were like, yeah, we'll come.
I'll do it.
Good meal.
Great meal.
Huge table. This place had this table. We figured it was worth $1 million.
I think it was.
Yeah,
it was diamond encrusted.
It was wild. So anyway, we were watching it. And as soon as Talbot, he threw a couple blockers, and I was like, well, we'll see where this goes. As soon as Talbot kind of went in behind the net, I think I grabbed Gaudreau's shoulder and was like, holy shit, Smith's going to be coming down the ice. And they did, and it was awesome.
How perfect was that pose at center when he
The
was
Ken
waiting?
Dryden. The Ken Dryden pose. I loved it.
That's a boss pose.
I was losing it. Like when he posed up like that, like when he started skating down, I was like, no, this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I didn't think Talbot was gonna do it. And then right when when Mike Smith set that pose, I'm like, there's no way Talbot has to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Like,
I was going to
guys'
say,
hands
there's
are
no
like
way,
that,
right?
You have to do it.
Major, there's no way Talbot can look at that and then just turn around. around, right?
No,
as a goalie, you got to go.
Well, I'm sure it went through his mind. If I don't go, I might not play another game. They'll be talking about this till the playoffs, and I want another contract. So, I mean, he's loved now in Calgary probably for that whole thing.
For sure.
Smith, it's so funny how I think, was it the month of December where everyone in Edmonton wanted to get rid of this guy?
I remember reading text messages and tweets, and people are like, if he ever plays another game for the Oilers, I'm not watching anymore.
Oh, my God. What a bunch of morons.
I had one of my board game nerd buddies.
What a bunch of nerds.
I'm a nerd, huge nerd. But he texted me. He's like, Mike Smith is the chaotic evil of hockey.
He really is.
Oh, yeah.
You're
If
right.
you don't know, is like a reference to like Dungeons and Dragons and like basically.
Oh, wait a second. That's a Dungeons and Dragons reference?
Oh yeah, the chaotic evil. Like you have no like just. Pure
Is that
chaos.
a card or something? Or like
No.
It's
This is a
like
role-playing game.
A classification of an individual. So it's like it's in his nature to be just do things like just to be chaotic.
So is it technically in the game, or is it like just slang?
No, it's
from
in the-
Dungeons and
it's in the
Dragons?
game.
Oh, okay.
It all depends on the dungeon
You
master.
know what was the best part? Did you guys see Darnell Nurse kind of pointing?
Yeah.
Like
Just
you
a
go.
big smile on his face.
There was a fan. I don't know if he's from Calgary or Edmonton fan, but he had his angle from his phone. He started recording.
Yeah.
And you could see
Nurse.
Nurse going, look who's there.
Now, do you think he's just saying, "Hey, look, Smitty's there"? Or do you
Yeah.
think he's because he played with Talbot? So like,
it
there's no
looked
way
like
he's
he
like,
was
"Go
smiling.
fight him." Like,
He's trying to incite. Absolutely.
yeah.
Like he had a smile on his face. Hey,
Yeah.
Talbs, check it out.
Yeah. What about the play that started it all? Like Gagne going for that puck. Did you think that was worth a bunch of blockers?
No,
Or
puck was loose. It wasn't underneath his arm. Like he's sitting on the other side. He had a shot at it. Like
what do you think, Gager? Would you block him there? Or
Oh, yeah.
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 well, I'm not
sure.
saying you shouldn't have blocked him. I look at Gagne and I kind of go, I get it. Like that was the whistle hadn't gone. The puck was on the other side of the arm. It wasn't underneath it. So you're trying to take a jab at it. So totally go for it.
Yeah.
Goalie's got a lot of pads on. Like you can't tell me you think that's going to hurt.
Oh, that had hurt. Yeah.
What would hurt?
That's soft. That wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Look how much padding you're wearing.
You lay down, put my gear on, and I'll shove a stick under your back and see what happens. I'll get blockers too.
Under his arm, and it wasn't like
It was
didn't, like,
right under between the shoulder blades.
it was.
Yeah, no,
More-
that
more
was.
to the shoulder
I
there.
thought it was. Gagne was stirring the pot. I think.
I think Talbot was just pissed that they were getting pumped,
Yeah,
and then
he
he was
was-
looking for an opportunity, which is
Yeah.
fine. I mean, I get it.
I don't think Gagne would have done it in another situation too. I think just because it was just insult to injury. Maybe
Yeah.
he had another one, and it's against Calgary. And Talbot, Talbot doesn't really lose his stuff that much. So that was a.
Who cares? It was awesome.
It was great. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think's going through his head, Gager? When he's skating out there, he knows Smith is a bigger guy. Smith is a feisty guy. Smith likes to get into shit anyway. So what's going through Talbot's mind there? Like, as a goalie, do you approach that in like a defensive, like, because you're not thinking about it. You have no experience in this. So
No,
what are you doing?
As soon as I saw him, I go, "Oh, it's so tough to do anything with all that crap on." But Talbot's not that small either, though. He's what, 6'4",
he's not a
6'5"?
little
Like
guy.
he's
decent size. Yeah,
He's big. How big's Smith? Like
Smith's 6'5",
so, yeah.
I
So
think
they're
Talbot's 6'3", isn't he?
and Talbot's I think 6'2" or 6'3".
okay because he is. I'm 6'2". He's a little. He's taller than I
You're
am.
6'2"?
Yeah, and he,
I need a measurement on that.
I'm 6'2".
You're 6'2"?
Yeah.
Like any playing day 6'2", or you're still 6'2"?
Well, I might have shrunk
With
a bit. I
this
guess.
platform.
Talbot's 6'4".
Yeah. See.
Yeah, so he's
6'4".
a little bit skinnier. They got him listed as 6'4", $196. But,
Jesus, really?
yeah, he might be a little bit. I mean, he's got that dad weight now, so he's
Oh,
probably
okay.
a little bit heavier.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's they're close in height. They're closer in height than you think. And I thought it was a pretty good tilt. You know what? The punch that Talbot did throw, he missed by a bit. But
Oh, that was a knockout punch.
He
Big
would
connects.
that would have if he would have landed.
He
that
only threw the one, but
he missed to the right of Smith's head, but the only problem was his feet. He didn't have his feet set. But if he would have connected that would have been a game changer.
That's why you always want to have your weight in your back foot and be the guy backing up versus going forward in those things.
So that's why you would always do that.
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, as a goalie, we don't know how to fight half of us.
Yeah. Well, you fought a couple of times. We talked
Yeah.
a little bit about it. You fought the young dude.
Young dude.
Yeah, that was a player, right? That was yeah.
I actually got a tweet from the guy. I fought the goalie in Moose Jaw. His name was Jody Lehman.
Okay.
I fought him and Scott Bailey. So
Well, I saw Lehman tweeted at you and said, like, the
Yeah.
old Warriors days or something. Yeah, I
yeah.
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so-
good. Cass, what's it do for the rest of the guys when you see the two goalies square off?
Oh,
Like, this
you just-
doesn't happen. Like, this, when was the last time this happened in the National Hockey League?
2013.
Yeah, so 6 years.
It was
6 years. 7 years.
Emery and Holtby.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Holtby probably did. Oh, yeah, that's right. Holtby didn't want any of
No.
that. Emery came right down the ice and was like, right here, let's go. Oh, that poor bugger. I forgot that was Holtby.
Yeah.
What's it do, though, like, for the rest of it? Like, yeah,
it's you can't even describe it. Like
that's the best.
Yeah. When was the last time? I'm trying to think of the last time I was on the ice when two goalies fought.
Yeah, did you,
I can't remember if it happened in the minors.
like, American League or
In the
back in the
American League. I'm
dub?
trying to remember. In the dub, I know it happened a couple times. The old days.
Doobie fight?
I don't think I ever saw Doobie
Oh,
fight.
okay.
Dubnyk did fight one time, didn't he?
Yeah,
I
but
think I remember Dubnyk having all of his
I don't know. I don't
gear
remember
off.
in
Hernan,
junior.
can you look up and see if Dubnyk fought? For some reason, I think Dubnyk fought, but I might be wrong.
I remember
Hockey DB has you at 6 feet, and they're never wrong. So.
yeah,
Whoa.
That's central scouting
Yeah.
numbers.
You
way
also
back
have
then.
to remember he's a shitty producer. So
Yeah, no, I remember just having an episode like that in the dressing room afterwards. It's just, I think I told you, it's just crazy. And
it's
everyone's just,
amazing.
yeah, they're going, like I as soon as all that happened, I go, because they had to go in before the third, I'm thinking, God, Tippett has a big job ahead to try to calm these guys down
Why
a little
would you
bit.
want to, though?
But keep, just because the dressing room is probably going so nuts at that point. It's just, I wish... God, I wish I was in that room at that time.
it'd
That
be
would have
the
been
best.
so much fun.
So it says Dubnyk fought Gabriel Landeskog in 2016.
okay.
Well,
I thought I remembered Dubnyk fighting. I didn't remember it was actually against a player, but that'd be a good scrap. Dubnyk had size on Landeskog.
Yeah.
Dubnyk's tall, right?
and he's Swedish.
Landeskog's Swedish. That's right. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack from this Battle of Alberta game, like outside of the goalie fight and everything. Calgary won 3 in a row. We were talking about that on Thursday after the podcast. The Flames had won 3 in a row, and it looked like they had the Oilers' number. The Oilers come out early. Yamamoto scores, does like the arms wide open celebration, mocking Riddick, who did that after. So right away, you're like, okay, these guys want to stick it to him. Then Cassian scores, and then things just kind of open up. It was 4-3 at one point, and then the Oilers put it away. Cass, outside of the brawl and the goalie fight, what else do you take away from Calgary and Edmonton on Saturday?
Well, that Edmonton can beat them. And if Edmonton is playing at their best, it's going to be really hard for Calgary to skate with them. That second line was really, really good for Edmonton. Really, really good. And Calgary just seemed to have a tough time sticking with it. They when Edmonton was firing on all cylinders and playing north-south, and again, they did a great job of backtracking, like the forwards coming back and helping out the defensemen on the rush against, just pushed all the pucks to the outside. It was tough for Calgary really to generate much for a while. Like they started to eventually as the game opened up, but Edmonton, they played really, really well. This is a team that a lot of us had got really nervous about in December. And since the new year has turned around, they've been really, really good. And the biggest part of that has been that second line.
Yeah, great month. For Calgary, it's funny how 2 really physical games and you don't see Johnny Gaudreau.
I know.
You know, like I would be, if I was Calgary, I'd be quite worried because it's a playoff atmosphere. Last year in the playoffs, he had his disappearing act again. And if they have any hope of beating the Oilers, he has to be playing well. That's
Kachuk's a gamer, and we realize that. You know, he's not afraid to go to certain places. He's not afraid to drop his gloves, depending on who it's against. But Johnny Gaudreau, he had the assist on the Buddy Robinson goal. He fed it over to him. But outside of that, I mean, he's almost non-existent. Like, it's not like he's getting into battles and getting outmanned in the battles. He's not even really there. And we talked about this on Thursday after the first game. And then this game gets even more physical, and you don't notice him again. Gager, I'm with you, man. That's our Popeyes Chicken Poll question today, actually. Hernan, pop that up, and we'll get the results. Will Johnny Gaudreau be with the Calgary Flames next season? And I think that answer is probably still to be determined. Although, I mean, I guess you could try to shop him before the deadline and get a player that you think might be more suited for the playoffs. I highly doubt it. But Hernan, what are the results right now?
Yeah, 919 votes in. Leading the way is no at 57%.
All right, so it's kind of tight, 57-43. Cass, what would your answer be to that?
Yeah, I think he still will.
You think he still will be?
I think he still will.
What if they lose in the first round or miss the playoffs?
What if they?
I'm not. I think he will be.
Yeah.
It's possible he won't. It's early still on that.
Because when I watch Flames games, he usually has the puck a lot and dancing through the neutral zone and curling back, setting stuff up, and that didn't happen.
He's one of the best guys in the league when he's on with the puck, the puck. Yeah,
I think what Gretz was saying, that entering the zone is an art form, and he does it quite well on a regular basis.
You know, Kyler Yamamoto in some ways reminds me of Johnny Gaudreau, except we have noticed in the last couple games, you've noticed Yamamoto. Like he's been in those areas on the ice. He's had the puck. He's made plays entering the offensive zone.
Great plays,
and not just against Calgary too. Like the one pass to Draisaitl the other day.
Yeah.
Like where he's made plays entering the zone. And if you look at those guys, the last couple games, they're like, okay, if this is playoff hockey, Yamamoto looks like he's going to be more effective than Gaudreau, which is probably
just like more dog on a bone.
Yeah,
you think
but it shouldn't be that way.
No,
it shouldn't be that way. But it's looking like it, which isn't good for the Flames.
Is the difference? Maybe I'm wrong. I think Johnny Gaudreau will do more damage with the puck on a stick. Whereas Yamamoto will be better at going to get the puck, and it's somebody else to go where it needs to be. Right, like that would be a little bit of a difference there. I think, hey, Gager, like
for now, I think. Do you think Yamamoto's talent ceiling can get to Gaudreau's at all?
I still think they're different players.
Are they just different?
Well, Gaudreau's like a 90-point guy, right? Like,
Well, geez.
Yeah. Well, let's
put
take
Yamamoto next year. Let's see what he does if he plays with Draisaitl.
He gets to roll with Draisaitl for the year. Yeah.
Because what does he have? 14 and 7 or no?
No. He's about a point per game. Draisaitl's almost 2 points per game since they were together, and Nugent Hopkins is kind of in the middle, I think. So
even Monahan, did you see him at all? Like,
well, he had the fight with Nuge at least, so he was kind of involved there.
But
so the last 2 years, Johnny Gaudreau had 84 points in 2017-18. Last year he had 99 points.
Holy!
And right now he's got 41 and 53. Like last year he had 36 goals. This year he's got 13. He's on pace for like a 20-goal season, man. That's a huge drop.
Yeah.
So, and in the last 9 playoff games they've played, he's got 3 points, no goals. Second year in his his first full year as a rookie, they made the playoffs. He had 9 points in 11 games. So his first time in the playoffs, he actually was pretty impactful through 2 rounds. But I don't know. Okay, now what about Lucic? That's the other thing here. Ward was asked about Lucic and the lack of involvement in the Battle of Alberta so far, and he said, I think it was Rashog who asked the question, and he said, I know what you're trying to do here. I don't really want to talk about it, which is basically saying no, but in a polite way and not trying to throw his player under the bus. I get it. It's your former teammates and stuff. Cass, do you stay away from starting shit with former teammates, or like did that come about very often? Or
you look for the guy that wasn't your teammate, and that you go after him.
Okay, but then
and then if someone has to deal, then if someone comes to you, you deal with it.
Yeah,
like if you
friend or not, if he comes to you, you're gonna
deal with it. Hey, there's guys that are like your best friends that maybe you're not taking as many shots at, but in an environment like that where you need to, you're still gonna stand up for your teammates now. You have to. That's your job. Even if you emotionally in your brain are having trouble getting there, it's like, well, I have to make a conscious decision to no, I have to do something and I have to get over this because that's what I'm supposed to do.
You think next time anything starts to happen with the Flames, if they're not playing the Oilers, Lucic loses his mind on somebody, Gaethje? I think that's like his guys, I am here for you.
I don't. Yeah.
Or does it make a difference?
I just think he's done with that side of the game. He talks a bit, but he just doesn't seem. He's just the big gentle bear out there, I guess. I would just leave him, let him sleep.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he doesn't initiate, right? He just retaliates. So
and he's not going to hurt you on the scoreboard whether you let him sleep or not.
No,
really, right?
So, yeah, he's bad.
That's a decent summary.
I'm
not going. I wouldn't say he's bad.
Okay, that's a little harsh. But he hasn't been
bad.
good the two games against Edmonton, where it's the type of game where you go, oh, thank God we got him in the lineup. You don't see it.
It's the exact reason they brought him in, so they don't get walked all over by Colorado like they did last year in the playoffs. He's got 10 goals in his last 130 games in the National Hockey League, so it's not very good. Is that a better way to say it,
I
Cass?
say it's more than I
Is
have.
that, you know what? I hesitated before I said that's not very good because I know it was more than you had. Funny you brought that up because I was just like, yeah, you too. That's true. You're right. He is better than both of you guys. Is that what we can say? Is that all right?
That is fair.
Okay, but overall, big picture for both of these teams coming out of this game. Gager, you take the Oilers side of it. Cass, you take the Flames. Gager, for the Oilers, this type of win, any team, I think in any league where you get sort of, a little bit of brouhaha, you pick up a big win against a rival, and they've been playing well. They're 8-2-1 in their last 11, or 8-1-2 in their last 11. So what can that type of win do for this team the rest of the way this year?
It's gargantuan on the amount you just get behind everybody. Everyone gets in it together. It's a galvanizing moment for our team. I think, Cass, you mentioned about, I forget which team we were talking about at the beginning, first couple episodes of this, just a moment that can change the season. And these last 3 games is that moment, I think, for the Oilers that has completely changed their season. You see them on the bench, Caleb Jones scoring, everyone laughing. He's laughing. The goalie fights, like, geez, it just seems like seeing them go congratulate Mikko at the end of the game, and seeing the smiles on their faces. It was an emotional game. I was emotional, but it just there seemed to be a little switch that flicked there. I'm excited for tomorrow night. It's another big game tomorrow night that can really put some distance between some other teams. But this is I'm really optimistic of what the Oilers can do now, playing these types of playoff games so far away from the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah, big win over St. Louis on Friday too.
Yeah, we forget about that.
Yeah. What about Calgary then? Like from a Calgary perspective,
I would think you're taking a look at this and you're saying a few things. Number one is that type of game, like a physical, hard, emotional game, is going to be playoffs. This is going to be playoff games. We have to be prepared for this. We know what to expect. We know what playoffs are going to be, so we have to rise to the occasion. Other teams aren't just going to sleep through it. Even if we beat a team 3 games in a row, 3 times in a row, there's still going to be some fire there. We have to be able to manage it. And secondly, we have to manage our emotions. For as emotional as the game was, Edmonton responded better than Calgary did. Just overall, they although they were very emotional in their reaction, even if you look to Rittich, and it was great that he did the stick flip, but what did every single one of those guys on Edmonton say? Like
they thought it was disrespectful, fired them up,
and then fired him up, and it just
they were mocking him,
and it added fuel to the fire because it was just like, well, hey, if this guy's going to be an idiot, look what we're going to bring, and that's an emotional moment for Rittich where he did that as opposed to just being methodical about it, and I'm hoping anyways, or thinking that maybe Calgary takes a little bit of a lesson from that. They've still been playing some really good hockey recently.
Yeah.
And I know the score got out of control at the end of it, but they battled back in that game. They're down a couple and they battled right back. They were in that game. They were one shot away from, really, I don't want to say taking over the game, but they were right there too. So I think you look at it and you go, we got to manage our emotions, and we have to play a certain way, and we know how we're going to have to play to be successful in the playoffs.
Rittich gets yanked in that game, comes by the Oilers bench. Gager, you were pulled once in a while. What's it like skating by the other team's bench after getting yanked? I mean, is it pretty bad? Or Rittich probably got it even worse because of what he did. But
yeah, and you're so mad at yourself, and
you just ignore that, right? You don't chirp back, right? Because you get pulled. Or
some guys have some pretty good ones there that they'll say to you or something like, whatever, you could drive an Amtrak through your legs or whatever the stuff, and you're just so demoralized and down because especially if you get pulled in the second, because that's when you're going all the way, and then you can't really. You can't have a comeback, and it's just an FU back. That's just, and then you hear nice comeback, you sieve. So no,
it just gets worse.
It gets worse and worse and worse. But you know what? One thing I think I told you during that game, Connor, he was very conscious when he shot on Rittich and he was going 7-hole, and it was almost he just placed it there. It wasn't hard shots at all. So, and just watching Rittich's game after that, he wasn't confident at all. Like even Gagne's goal was great, but I mean, that's a stoppable puck. So it was good to see them kind of get into his head that way. That because he had one good game and one bad game. So
Yeah, he was great on Wednesday.
yeah,
he was the best player for them on Wednesday.
The reason they won.
Go the stick flip.
Yeah, he was excellent. He was good.
So here's the thing. How Gager, you can answer this. How bad not just the getting yanked and going in front of the bench, but when you have to go back in after getting yanked and skating in front of the bench. Like you get pulled, Talbot gets kicked out. Now you got to skate in front of the bench again.
Very rare, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he didn't want to go in there. Like, you see him putting on his gloves. He's like, "Fuck this." I wish Gage would get down here. Maybe he could be our third goalie.
Pull it groin. Oh,
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, you don't want to go in there. It's awful. That's a bad feeling, especially when you let one in too. And
that sucks.
Haas made him look really bad on that one. That was a really good
That
goal.
was a sneaky little move.
Yeah,
little
that was awesome.
Hesitation,
Yeah.
drag, and open him up. That was he made
so-
it look easy. Actually,
Yeah,
that was a nice
he did.
play by. That was a nice play there by Haas. All right, so we've got a lot of other stuff to get to around the National Hockey League as well. We're going to hit on the there's some breaking news with the Jets and Dustin Byfuglien, so we'll get to that about him working on a contract settlement here.
Yeah.
And they're going to go separate ways. So we'll hit on. Well, you know what? We're there. Let's talk about that. What'll happen here is it'll open Byfuglien up to do whatever he wants, I guess. Maybe the end of I don't know what ends up happening with Dustin Byfuglien at this point, but it'll allow the Jets to get some much needed cap space if they can agree on a contract termination here with Dustin Byfuglien, and that's what needs to happen, right? Like there's no way like he's not coming back. You're not trading him. This is the only way out of this, really.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Cass, you said he just wants to fish and
just wants to be in the boat.
be in the boat. So
And that's it. Like,
I think if he's one of those guys you talk about that like doesn't look at stats, doesn't pay attention. Like if you asked him who won the Stanley Cup last year, he probably couldn't tell you and stuff. Yeah, he just doesn't. I don't think he wants to play anymore.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And you know what? That's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's done. He's done. He's won cups. He's made millions and millions and millions of dollars.
He's got like foot problems, right? So that's brutal. Like I got a couple big pawls on my feet, and they get in the way. That's tough.
Are you gonna ever show us those feet, or?
You want to see my bunions?
No.
Well, we are streaming live on video, so
Maybe we'll get.
get a dock in. Get a dock in.
I'll
Take a
tweet
look.
him out.
Shaq showed his feet, so.
Yeah, there you go. If Shaq can do it, then yeah, that's okay. Okay, a couple other things I want to get to, but I do want to get to Super Bowl yesterday. Okay, so Cash, you stayed at home to watch it.
Yep.
Gager, you went to a buddy's.
Yep.
And I went to a pub. So we all had a different Super Bowl experience. The one thing that popped up for me, and I don't know if this is different than
Hips. Hips were popping.
there's a few hips and some butts. You must have hated that show, eh, Cass?
You know what? I didn't watch it. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
And I think it's completely reasonable.
Okay.
Multitude of reasons, but it was early enough that my girls, so 2 and 4 years old, they were awake, they're running around, and I didn't want for them to see that and even start emulating it at that age. I kind of go, no, this is too early for them. They don't need to see someone that's old enough to be their grandma doing this.
Yeah.
It was just like, no, I'm not going to subject them
See,
to
and
that.
you're the parent, and that's your choice. You can turn it off. They
You
don't
can turn
watch it.
off.
Then you don't have to bitch about it,
don't
right?
have to-
Like,
yeah, and whatever people watch it, that's their decision, their prerogative. But for me, it's like I don't need to see that. My girls don't need to see that. So I was.
I feel like a horrible parent now because I have a 2 and a 4-year-old as well. My wife let them watched it and they were dancing along.
That's your choice.
Yeah,
That's
no,
your
and
choice
it's
and
fine.
that's
It's fine. But Marshall, this is like little kids. You know how they are. We have them. Gager years are bigger now, but what's her name? Shakira comes out and Marshall, he's 4. He'll be 5 in March. He looks. I guess he looked at my wife and said, "Mommy, is she a wrestler?" Because she was wearing like a wrestling outfit, basically. And then Elizabeth, she's almost 3, she looked at my wife and was just like, "Mommy, those ladies shaking their bums." And then she likes to dance anyway. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, Shakira's out there, and it's okay. Like she's moving, it's sexy, whatever. It's fine, and whatever. And as long as they stay off the pole, right?
Yeah.
Just stay off. And then J-Lo comes out on the pole, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
You're like, "Where's J-Lo? Where's J-Lo?" Oh, there she is at the
man.
top of that stripper pole.
But what are they for? How old are they? How old are your
They're
girls?
50 and like 40.
50 and
No,
43.
your
43.
girls. How old are your girls?
4, like just going to be 5 here coming up in 2.5.
And 2. Okay. Well, I got to tell you, my daughter's in highly competitive dance, and it's disturbing because I know how young these girls are and the movements that they
Yeah.
have. It's tough because I feel when I go to these dance competitions, sometimes my wife has to go help or do something, right? So, and I'm sitting there alone at the dance competition. You kind of get worried that everyone's who's the lone
Yeah.
guy sitting there. So,
Creep.
have I ever told you the story?
No, but I want to hear it.
It was funny because this is way back, and it was when my daughter was quite young in dance, and they have parent watch week, right? So we all go into the class and sit there. So all the families go in there. My daughter was in there for a second. She's a little social butterfly, so she bounces out of the room for a sec. And I'm sitting there, and the dance teacher comes in and goes, "Hi, everybody, how you doing?" And looks at me and goes, "Oh, Joaquin, is Liliana here today?" And I'm like, "I hope so." I was gonna come and check this out. But no, you feel a little bit off. I always am very conscious of making sure my wife's around, or I'm not just the
Not a
weirdo creepy coming to watch the dance competition.
So anyway, the halftime show was something else.
It
I
was
guess.
great.
Yeah.
It was great.
You know what?
Yeah.
From a Shakira and J-Lo perspective, that is exactly what I expected for a halftime show for the Super Bowl. I mean, it's just what Hernan, you laid it out. You loved it. You thought it was great.
Yeah, and again, I'm a bias because I am Hispanic, and I know, like, I enjoy that music and all that. But again, I think it made people uncomfortable just because they were so.
A lot of people would have been uncomfortable.
Well,
Yeah.
it's you think of how many kids were watching it. That's the thing. It's like this wasn't, it's not an 18+ Super Bowl. Like you have, and it's during a time when kids are going to be awake, where you have like 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds watching, and you're kind of like, well, like I don't know.
Which is why I like you turning it off.
Yeah.
Because I had a bunch of people text in and be like, "My kids watched it." I'm like, "Well, then you're the fucking parent. Turn it off."
But
you don't turn it off.
But
Like,
I think the halftime
your
show-
kids didn't watch it because you didn't want them to watch
The
it, right?
halftime
Like,
show, I think, is made for adults, and it's fair enough. Kids are going to watch it.
Yeah.
But last year, Adam Levine took off his shirt.
Yeah.
Were people offended by that? I mean, it's,
yeah,
it's
you
a
didn't see
two-way
as much.
street
You're right.
here,
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Yeah.
a
Levine
lot of
last year,
skin.
geared down.
There's a lot of skin.
Sexy man. Like,
I mean,
Yeah,
and like you
tatted up.
said, it is what it is. To each their own. I mean, the stripper pole probably a little too much, but
Yeah.
it was a hot show. It was
That was unbelievable. I
Like,
would
it's a
have been
show.
gassed after that
Yeah.
routine on the pole.
like it's,
you ever pole dance? You have?
Well,
There's too much hesitation there.
back when on a routine cable install one time, a girl upstairs had the Carmen Electra pole dancing video, and she actually like drilled this thing into her bonus room floor. It was an actual stripper pole. So I set up my phone because she was downstairs, and I was recording myself twirling on this thing.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got all these pictures of me on the pole.
Cass is just shaking his head.
You do? Oh, I had to kill time sometime. It was
So,
good.
oh,
Yeah,
You know what,
another
though?
side
Here's-
note,
here's the
though.
thing. If
I didn't go upside down. I didn't want her to come upstairs and me laying there. But yeah, no. I've
but
been
I
on.
think there's like classes. You
Oh,
can
yeah,
take
yeah.
to learn how to.
yeah. You could do. I mean, how else are you gonna learn?
Yeah, well,
Unless you just go into strangers' houses and set up your phone and dance on pole.
I was fixing their cable box.
Did you spray it down at least beforehand? Like,
I didn't lick it.
Hey, that could be a name for the episode. I didn't lick it.
but
Okay.
nonetheless, just on the halftime show,
yeah.
like I agree with Cass, and like you said, like he turned it off. so I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna-
If you want to turn it off, turn it off.
But it was nice because she did bring out her daughter.
Yeah.
She's
sing it.
singing.
Her 11-year-old
She
daughter
was
came out
good.
singing with her.
Yeah.
your 11-year-old daughter, you could be a part of this too.
Yeah,
Oh, and,
like-
and we're gonna send just because I read about it. Yeah, and we're gonna try to send a political message
Yes.
as well.
Ah, yeah, they did get in on that too,
With the
yeah.
cages and all that.
Yeah.
What cages? There were those cages. Oh, okay.
The
never
little
mind.
kids were like in supposedly.
Oh,
yeah.
was that it? Oh, okay.
That's what they were trying to do. Anyway, the Super Bowl issue I wanted to discuss was when you're at a pub, and it was me, a couple guys from work, and a buddy of mine, and we were sharing garlic fingers, and it came with a donair dip. And when you're at a pub,
Garlic fingers.
yeah, golden garlic fingers, like cheese bread and like
okay.
garlic. It's really, they're good. They're good.
Okay.
Anyway, is it cool to double dip when you're at the table with the boys or what? Because
This has been answered. This is like an age-old.
no, but
question.
is it different at the pub than it is like at a house?
You got to
like,
Riddich flip the
flip the
thing, go
breadstick,
into
yeah.
the other side.
Isn't
yeah.
it different at a pub than it is at like?
or you just there's these people that are called servers,
Yeah.
And you can be like, excuse me, could you bring another thing of this dip?
See, now that would have been a solution to it. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I don't think you double dip. I think it's gross. Like, you either got to cut the edge piece where your mouth touched off, or you got to use the other edge.
Oh, yeah. Even if it's like a really good buddy, they gotta use his buddy.
Listen, they're not shaking hands in kids soccer in Edmonton right now. So to go out and to double dip.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get coronavirus from Donair dip.
You would get it from the beer.
I think like if you're with your wives, I think
Well,
it's
that's
different.
that's
yeah,
different,
yeah.
though.
But if you're with a buddy, like I'd be grossed out.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
You'd be grossed out?
Yeah, I would not. Yeah, yeah.
Shit,
If
boy.
you
I didn't
double
know
dip
that it was like that gross. It was basically,
you-
actually, it was
you
just
a
the two of
double
us.
dipper?
Just my buddy and I. We were eating it, and I double dipped. I triple dipped.
Did he catch you?
Well, he probably saw me, but he didn't say anything.
How good was that dip?
Oh, buddy, it's Donair sauce and a dipping thing. Like,
Let's talk about that.
it was good. Yeah, it was a good dip. Wow, huh? Gator, where'd you come out on this?
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. I'm trying to think if you do it with a good buddy, that'd have to be a really good relationship.
This is like he's been one of my best buddies since we were like 16.
Yeah.
Like I know he's disease free. Plus, it's just.
But you were double dipping.
Yeah, it's true. I got like 9
What if
diseases.
yeah.
Actually, I don't even know if he was dipping. Maybe I was just dipping by myself the whole time, and really, it's a moot point. That might have been what ended up happening. Yeah. Maybe I took control of the dip early, and he didn't want any of it. So, all right, we'll get some more Super Bowl stuff a little bit later on. All right, so the Canucks, they get a shootout point. They lose, but they got a point, another one. They're still at the top of the division. I looked up this today because I was like, why in the hell are the Canucks as good as they are? And we know we talked about it. There was an article we were reading about Markstrom and how he's done well for them in situational goaltending so far and given them chances to win. Also, I saw this. The Flames and Oilers each have 4 players with 30 points or more. The Canucks have 7.
That's crazy.
Canucks have 7 players with 30 points or more. Now, like, back in the day, that wouldn't be a lot. But in today's National Hockey League, at the 50-game mark or whatever in the season, 7 forwards, including 1 defenseman. I think, well, I know Hughes is there, and I think it's 6 forwards. But when you can have, like, basically your entire top 6 and your top defenseman all with 30 points, at this stage, they're all probably going to hit, 40, 45 points, Cass. How much of a difference can that make? I mean, is that why the Canucks are so damn good? Is just they get support scoring? Is it?
Well, they don't have any massive glaring weaknesses. Like, goaltending's good, defense is good, offensive side of defense is good, forwards are good, they're good defensively. Like, Bo Horvat is great in both zones, and they have guys that can chip in. So if one player's having an off night, someone else is there to step up and to fill the gap. And when you have that kind of depth and everyone's having that kind of success, you're going to win hockey games. It's a win by committee, and the difference for the Vancouver Canucks is they've embraced that mentality. Like, I don't think anyone cares that they have that.
They've all just bought in.
They've all just bought into this is our identity as a team. This is how we're going to play. We're going to have success doing it, and it's going a long ways for them.
I don't want to say too much about the Canucks just because I look like such a genius saying that they were going to be good this year. I don't want that to happen to you with all your picks this year. But
Toronto was the big
it's unbelievable that I never would have guessed 7 players would have 30 points
7
at this
guys.
point. Like they looked well balanced. I just didn't know that well balanced. It's quite amazing. It's funny how they were asking for, what's their coach's name again? Shoot, why can't I think of it?
Green?
Green. Travis Green. Like they were calling for his head, like what?
Remember they went on that little bit of a slide there for a bit, yeah.
Like 3 weeks ago, they wanted to get him fired and stuff. But no, it's they seem to, like you said, Cass, they're all buying in, and they're one of those teams where I don't really think they care who gets points as long as they get the 2 at the end of the game.
It's definitely going a long way, and that's who everybody's going to try to track down. They've got Pedersen's got 55, Miller's got 53, Besser's got 45, and he's been criticized at times this year. He's got 16 goals and 45 points. Bo Horvat's having a nice season offensively. He's got 44 points in 53 games. That's got to be close to his career. Let's see here, 61. So he's on pace to top his career high. Tanner Pearson's got 39 points. Quinn Hughes has 39 points. And Jake Virtanen has 15 goals and 31 points as well. These guys are 20, 26, 22, 24, 19, 27, 23. Like, that's not bad either. Yeah. No, they're playing pretty well for a young team. They really don't have a ton of veteran experience in that team, and it's been working out pretty well for them so far.
I'm still shocked at that Pedersen, his wrist shot. Like, he's making good NHL goalies look bad and just blowing it past, especially in that All-Star game. I know it's the All-Star game, but still, those guys are trying to stop that. He's phenomenal.
You know what he does better than a lot of guys is he separates his, and Connor does this well too, but Connor's more when he's handling the puck, like skating full speed, he separates his upper body from his lower body, like where one thing's doing something that the other's not. And Pedersen,
like a shiftiness to his body.
Like to his body, like where, because typically it's like where the hips go, that's where your body's going to go. Like it's just your hips and your shoulders, they're going to end up going the same way. That's where your body's going to go. But with those guys, they have a pretty unique ability where they can kind of separate that a little bit and make it look like they're not going to go the way their feet are going. And with his shot, I feel it's the same sort of thing with Pedersen, where the way he plants his feet and moves his body, I think goalies get stuck because they don't know if he's going to pass or shoot. Where a lot of guys engage, or maybe you could speak into this. You have tells, like you can tell when a guy's going to shoot versus make a pass, and I think he's just a little bit more tricky to track.
Yeah, they got hips like Shakira.
I didn't see the halftime show, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't know. I say this a lot. The best goal scorers, when they shoot the puck, it doesn't matter where the puck is, right, and where their body is. Like it can be behind them, in front of them. They can look off balance or on balance. Like most guys will come in and you know exactly when that puck is going to come off their stick, and even to the point where on their blade the puck will come off their stick. Like you practice with guys so much, a lot of guys that probably weren't as good as goal scorers, they shot the puck off the same part of their stick every time. And then you'd get guys that could score and it would be off the toe, off the heel, off the middle. It didn't matter.
Jeez.
And they could do it, and they could put the puck wherever they wanted to, shooting from all these different parts of the blade. That's what made it, because then you're just not ready for it.
Well,
right?
so what are you watching then in those situations for those guys? Like, because are you watching where, like, placement of the puck and where their stick is into the body? Or are you watching their eyes? Or like, what are you?
It's a combination of things, because I'm looking kind of like from the knee down, right? So just the way their feet are set, the way their hands are, like if the hand's down low, hands up high. Like you're watching their bottom hand a little bit, because when it's up high, you know they're probably not going to shoot as quick. If it gets down lower, they'll probably shoot. So it's years of watching people shoot too. But yeah, you can kind of pick up when everything stops moving and when that shot gets to a certain part of the blade where it's probably going to come off at that point. That's why, when Connor comes in, or you see a weird goal. Ovechkin does it good too, like where he rips it off every part of his stick too. But he keeps his feet moving, and sometimes I don't think it's that hard of a shot, but it's just how did he shoot the puck with that much velocity in that weird angle with the Shakira hips?
Cass, did you shoot the puck off a lot of different parts of your blade?
Well,
front,
somewhere in the front. I didn't get a lot of shots.
No, that's true.
No, curves changed from the start of my career to the end, where a lot of guys shifted from, I'm going to go old school on the names, like from like a Medano or Shanahan curve, and they switched to like a Sakic. Again, old school names. They use different names for them now. At least the kids do. But more of a toe curve versus a heel curve. And with the toe curve, you can shoot, like more guys shoot from the toe, but the difference is you can pass from the toe as well, where there's a lot less that happens in the heel of the stick. More of it is from the front end. And so my shot was decent. It still is decent, like from a practice standpoint. I was pretty good at pulling it and moving it a little bit. But me, it was just I was too slow to actually get anywhere, to get in position for a shot.
Great shot, just can't get that.
He's got a great shot. It's a missile.
Yeah, but the thing is when we're doing alumni skates and there's
we got the guys
checking and pressure and
he's coming in for a shot.
just let him go.
Yeah, let him go. Come on in here.
But it's easy because it's like I can take all the time in the world.
Give him one.
You ever gauge your shot, like how hard it was? Like, did you ever
but
test that?
not slap shot.
No.
Like my slap shot was very, very average. But
Is that a good snapper?
Yeah, well, throughout my pro career, I probably took like 2 slap shots, maybe the entirety. Because you never, I tell young guys this is, whoever takes full-on slap shots during a game, like some defensemen sometimes, there are
forwards never.
Forwards rarely.
Draisaitl.
Well, he had the one.
There's some guys on one-timers that'll tickle.
Okay.
Like on occasion, sometimes a guy will skate down the wing and take it. But think of how rare that is.
That's
versus
really rare.
Like a snapshot where you're raising up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or like a one-timer. Yes, but more it's wrist and snap shots, and those I was decent at. So I never clocked those. My slap shot was like it was low 90s, high 80s, so it was fine, kind of average. Was never blasted it.
All right, a couple other things I want to get to, then we'll play Keep It or Clip It. The Montreal Canadiens have sent Jesperi Kotkaniemi down to the American Hockey League. Last year, he played the full season as an 18-year-old after being drafted 3rd overall. He had 34 points in 79 games with the Habs as a 13-year-old. The year before in Finland, he only had 29 points in 57 games. So for an 18-year-old, 34-point season, 79, I mean, that's not bad. This year, he's got 6 goals and 8 points in 36 games. They sent him down to the American Hockey League now. We saw what happened with Jesse Puljujarvi here in Edmonton. Kaapo Kakko was the 2nd overall pick in this year's draft, having a little bit of a tough time adjusting to the Rangers as well. Kotkaniemi, 115 games in the National Hockey League before getting sent down to the American Hockey League. Gage, your thoughts on what the Habs are doing here with their 3rd overall pick?
That's going to be tough for him to have that taste of the National Hockey League and then get sent down.
Yeah, and it's not like 10 games, right?
No, yeah. So
year and a half.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough pill for him to swallow. I don't know. The games I've seen him play, I thought he was really, really good.
I like him, yeah.
There's a physical part to his game. He's big, he can skate. I really like him. I like it, actually. If I'd like to see him gain more confidence, because you hate to see what happened with Puljujarvi here, right? Just too much too soon. Maybe they can make sure you talk to him and go, look, you're in our plans. We need you to get back to where you were, and we think this is the best place for you. So,
Cash, you think some of these teams got to stop bringing these 18 years?
Yeah,
like, why not just stay over there for a bit?
Why not stay over there for a little bit, or if they can, depending on where they played, bring them over here and have them play in the minor leagues. Like, if you can, depending obviously where they were drafted and the time they're playing and all the rules regarding that. Why wouldn't you have them come over as a young player, play a year in the minors, get that seasoning? I mean, look at Yamamoto, same sort of thing, and he's not a European guy, but needed some time, and now he has stepped in and he's contributing, and hopefully will be able to continue to do so moving forward. I've always been a fan of, unless the guy is like actually Connor McDavid, like at that elite level where he can step in and be an absolute force.
Well, look at Jack Hughes this year, 1st overall pick.
yeah, he's struggling.
He's struggling
too. Like, even for guys like that, where you kind of go like, why wouldn't you let him have a year?
Yeah.
I not necessarily in junior. Sometimes that can be challenging. I get it, but
Especially on a crappy team, too.
Yeah,
I know.
What are you doing? Like,
Well, how old is he?
Hughes?
Yeah.
He's a little bit old. He's
19 now, I
Yeah, he's
think,
19 now.
But
He was drafted last year.
Yeah, but where would you have to send it? Wouldn't you have to send
Well, he
it
would
to
have
a-
had to stay in school. He would have stayed in college, right? He couldn't have.
But
gone
he
to the
can go
American
down to the minors if you came out of college? I don't know that rules.
No, he can't. The European guys
European
can.
guys can. If
But
they were-
he wouldn't. He would have had to gone back to school.
If European guys
Or
were
junior.
drafted well playing in Europe, you can that's when you can buck the 20-year-old rules with the AHL.
So
for the
Kotkaniemi-
European guys,
yeah.
but the North American guys, he would. Where
have had
can
to
you
go back
send
to
him?
He would have had to move back to school, or
That's it?
left school and gone to the OHL or something.
Don't they sign with an OHL team or a CHL team usually if they do that, just in case, or no?
Somebody might have had his rights. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah,
Someone probably has the
someone
rights.
probably had his rights, and he could have gone there for sure. All right, there's one other thing I want to get to, but we'll do it after a Keep It or Clip It here. So let's do Keep It or Clip It. Keep It or Clip It for Sport Clip Haircuts, home of the MVP experience, where it's good to be a guy. This is episode 36 of Two Guys and a Goalie with Nielsen, Cass, Gager, and Hernan Salas, our shitty producer, all brought to you by oddshark.com. All
Pole
right.
dancer on my resume now. I like that.
You didn't lick it. All right, number one. We talked about this a little bit. The Canucks have the deepest forward group in Canada. Keep it or clip it.
I'm going to clip it. I would say the Oilers right now with the emergence of the Draisaitl line on 2. We have a really good 1-2 scoring lines.
Second line has been really good.
So yeah,
I'm gonna clip it
And
say I still think, even though I don't think they've been playing well, but from a purely talent and depth
give it to me.
standpoint-
I know where you're going.
Do you know where I'm going?
I
with
know where
this?
you're going.
Where are you going?
Say it.
There's two places. Like, it's tough. I'm probably gonna go with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Winnipeg.
Winnipeg was my second choice.
I like
Just
Winnipeg. So
depth, pure depth. Winnipeg's forward deep, really deep. But if you look at just the pure potential of it, I go Toronto. Toronto has even more depth. Like, they from young talent standpoint, they got a ton of guys. And I don't like saying that because don't like Toronto.
Yeah.
Not the city.
But it's okay. It's
but
okay, though.
I think
Yeah.
they do. So I'm going to go with that.
All right. This
Oh, you're
second
just
question's
trailing
not
with
for
this.
Gager. We know your answer.
Let's just go to the shitty producer on this one.
Yeah, all right, shitty. You can step in here.
All right.
And it's funny because I've read articles already about how maybe this team should trade him before the deadline if they continue to struggle. Which I swear to God, I've read those. Trading Taylor Hall was trading for Taylor Hall was a major mistake for the Coyotes. Keep it or clip it.
Hernan, you go ahead.
I'll say clip it. He's taking a lot of heat because the team's on a 5-game losing streak. Their record is under 500 with Taylor Hall, but I just think this team was playing above what they were playing better than they really are. So for me, to blame Taylor Hall is kind of weak in my opinion. So no, I still think this team is good. They're going to turn it around, and I like their forward group as well. They lost Ekman Larson, which is a huge loss, and the goaltending's been bad. But for me, no.
And the goaltender has been banged up too.
Yeah, I was going to say clip it just to add. I was going to say the goaltending has been banged up, and with OEL out, that hurts you. That's your number one defenseman that plays 25, 26, 27 minutes a night if need be.
Sorry, Gage.
He's part of the curse.
Yes.
It's part of the curse.
All right, number 3 here. People are way too passionate in Super Bowl halftime performances, like about Super Bowl halftime. Either way, good or bad. Like,
Yeah, keep it. It shouldn't be a polarizing event. Either if, like Cass did, just remove it from all. You're not for it or against it, but you just made a decision on the.
it's 15 minutes, man. It's a 15-minute concert.
I mean, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. Not just because there was 2 sexy women dancing. Yeah, I thought the production value was good, and the hip shaking didn't hurt.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it because it's like if I want to see a concert, I'm gonna go to an actual full concert. That if you think about it, it can be kind of cool to see what they produce in a matter of, okay, they have this much time to set it up, this much time to perform, and this much time to take it down before football starts again. I'm kind of like, well, I would just rather go see a set stage and cool stuff and,
go check it out.
Go check out an actual concert versus, and even from a sound standpoint, it's not going to be set up from a like being ideal for listening standpoint. So,
all right, Kasperi Kapanen sleeping in and being late for a meeting is no big deal. Keep it or clip it.
No big deal.
Yeah,
clip that garbage.
It is a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what would happen if you slept in and missed the first hour of your radio show?
Oh, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
It's your job.
Yeah, I'd be in trouble. It's your job.
It's your job.
And he
It's
said
your
that
job.
this has happened in the American League before. Like Kapanen said that.
So this is not
Yeah.
an isolated one-time incident like where your phone died and you forgot to plug it in or something.
Which almost happened to me yesterday. What a nightmare.
I get anxiety when I have meetings or have to get up at a certain time. Like
go to the airport?
Yeah, I put like 2 alarms on to make sure, right? Like,
Yeah, I have 3 alarms set every morning.
yeah, it's just being professional. That's Bush League. That's men's league. Oh, sorry, boys. That's the only time. It's not even okay in men's league.
But that has happened to me in men's league. but you know what
you
it
don't
is?
go, though, do you?
What it is I fall asleep at 9 p.m. and I have the old 10:30 start. I roll over at 9:45 and I'm like, nope, not happening.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
That's completely different.
Yeah.
You're paying to be a part of it.
Exactly,
It's
you're
not
right.
your job.
Did you guys ever come close to missing anything being late or?
I did miss one early practice in Junior B for the Chilliwack Chiefs, and the problem was I was in a billet's house and I didn't know, like I didn't test the alarm clock before, and I had it on like the blues station or something and really soft, and I remember just kind of just like, oh yeah, like I was dreaming about something and I could hear it, you know how you're kind of asleep but not, and then my billet dad came in and I freaked out, and I got there and they just got on the ice and the coach wouldn't let me on the ice and I had to run the stairs the whole practice. Oh, my calves. They were the calves were cows that
Well,
day.
you set a new alarm then that day.
Oh, I got a new. Yeah, I figured out how to work that one, and I made sure I got another.
Cash, you ever come close?
I'm sure I came close. I don't think I ever was actually late. I know there was when I was 16 in junior, I was late for school, like high school, like in Vancouver, WHL. But that's because I sprained my ankle, and there was 2 separate buildings, like, and the football field was in between them. And this was the day after I sprained it, so I was on crutches, couldn't put any weight in my left.
Oh, so
left
great
foot.
excuse, yeah.
And I had to go to like my locker on one side and walk all the way back across to the other building, and it took me like 25 minutes. I don't even think I had crutches yet at that point. Like, so I was like limping, and so then I got written up, and then I was just showed her my ankle, and I was like, I did this yesterday, and it was like a grapefruit ankle. And then she was like, oh, and then she ripped it up, and I was like, thank you.
Jeez, that was a close one.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler Benson should get a look with McDavid and Cassian. Keep it or clip it.
Keep it.
Whoa.
Absolutely. I want to see it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I thought you might say. Clip it.
Why not?
Well,
Why not? Like, he's a high skilled guy that can play in the top 6. He didn't get a look before. He's got some seasoning, having a ton of success playing in a high scoring role in the minor leagues. Let him loose. Let's have a look at it. I want to see it.
Keep it. Yeah, he's that's what he's here for.
So if he makes his debut against the Coyotes tomorrow, you play him with McDavid and Cassian?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That'd be something else.
Yeah.
Hernan, what do you think of that one?
Yeah, I mean, he's the shiny new toy. I like to see him with McDavid. I know we talked about it earlier too.
Yeah.
I think the best spot is with Sheahan.
Sheahan and Archibald. I think it'd be a nice little line there for a
And then
bit.
you can moonlight a few shifts with Connor.
Mix it in.
I want to see it.
All right, Shakira is sexier than Jennifer Lopez. Keep it or clip it.
Hernan, you take this one.
You know what? I'm gonna say yes. Keep it. She just dances so good.
She is. J-Lo's a great dancer, but Shakira is a better dancer.
She's a better dancer. I think a better performer.
But I always loved J-Lo. She's always been one of
It's
my
close,
favorites.
but I'm gonna say keep it.
I was telling Hernan before. Yeah, No, I think I'm gonna have to clip it. I'm gonna have to go with J-Lo because I don't think I could the jabs with the hips. I couldn't. That would mess me up. 7,
That
8,
wouldn't work.
9, 10.
Done.
I'm out.
Cass, no answer, right? No. All right. The Winnipeg Jets are a better hockey team than the Coyotes and Blackhawks, who they're going to be fighting with here, possibly. Keep it or clip it.
I'm gonna clip it. They have depth forwards, but the problem has been they have no defense. They lost too many defensemen with Bufflin and Trouba and Myers and everybody leaving. So no, I don't think they are. I think the Coyotes are better and the Hawks are close.
Yeah, the Hawks. What are they on? Like a 5-game win streak right now?
They've been playing pretty well.
They're playing really well. They're sneaky good. Yeah, I think I would go with the Hawks over the Jets for sure in that situation.
Cass, let me put an asterisk on this one. They clear up Bufflin and they trade for Alec Martinez. Do you think that helps?
I think
it would help, right? I mean, it would definitely help. Yeah,
absolutely.
Just a matter of how much.
How much would that clear up?
Getting rid of, well, it depends. I'm not too sure how that actually works. If it's an agreed contract termination,
It's different than buyout.
Yeah, that's completely different, right?
go check out puckpedia.com, our numbers website there, because there's got to be some clarification on that, because they probably have to take some sort of cap penalty, don't you think? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how that would work.
Because then every team would do that, wouldn't they?
If you could get a joint settlement with
Yeah.
guys that don't want to play. Yeah. All right, last one here for Keep It or Clip It, brought to you by Sport Clip Haircuts. Going to a pub to watch a major sporting event is better than watching at home. Keep it or clip it.
I'm going to clip it, because if you can get your good buddies to your house for a sporting event, everyone brings kind of potlucky, a few beers. I think that's more fun. Being in a place, I mean, it's good to be with people you don't know, and it has that atmosphere, but I like a little more intimate setting.
I like doing it at home too. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do squares or like do your own little dumb prop bets, like we always would do that as a team. You do squares, but then you'd have prop bets.
Okay, yeah.
And you do it for like the team fund, basically, is the house where you'd have little prop bets against one another and all the little, like the length of the anthem and everything. And you can't really do that, I feel, in a pub. So
It'd be tough.
at home.
What do you think,
Well,
Dusty?
I think, thanks for asking, Gager. I was about to say my answer anyway. So for me, it totally depends on the event and if one of my favorite teams is involved. Like, if I'm watching the NBA Finals and LeBron is there with the Lakers this year, I'm not going anywhere outside of my basement, because I want to watch the entire game. I want to stay focused. I might lose my shit a little bit. I don't need to be out at a pub having people chirp me. So, but like for a Super Bowl where I don't care about the Chiefs or Niners, I don't mind being out and about. It's cheaper to stay home unless you have a tab, which I did, so it didn't cost anything. So it was okay to be there. But at the same time, I mean, I think for me, it would depend on the teams involved.
Yeah, I'm getting cheaper in my old age. When I pay for that beer, and I'm like, I could have had 6 by now. This is
It is crazy.
It's crazy. The
It
$8
is
for
crazy.
this thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nuts. Okay, I wanted to wrap up with this today because they played for the 75th time head-to-head, Crosby and Ovechkin, over the weekend. And actually, neither of them really factored into that game on Sunday anyway. But it's been a running debate forever because they came in the same year and they both had great seasons. And Ovechkin won the Calder, and then they continue to accumulate titles and individual awards and basically dominate the sport for 10 to 12 years. And for the longest time, Crosby looked like for sure he's having the better career. And I was always battling against him because I was pro Ovi. And now, in the last few years, I've earned I like watching Crosby play because he's so damn good. But then I was looking today at Ovechkin and Crosby as they played on Sunday again for like the 75th time. And Sidney Crosby in his career, 1,245 points, 967 games. So, ridiculous point total. He has two Art Rosses. Crosby's only led the league in scoring twice, which is unbelievable to think, but he had to deal with injury issues, obviously. He has 2 Art Ross. He has 2 Hearts. He has a Lester and a Lindsay after they changed the award. He does have a Maurice Rocket Richard trophy. He's got 2 Lindsays and a Lester, so 3 of those, 2 Rocket Richards, 2 Conn Smythes, and then the 3 Stanley Cups. And then Ovechkin has 1,265 points in 1,136 games. 965 of those are goals. And then he's got the Calder. He's got an Art Ross. He's got 3 Hearts, 3 Lindsays / Lester B. Pearsons, and then 8 Rocket Richards, a Conn Smythe, and a Stanley Cup. Like the resume of these 2 guys is insane. And Ovechkin's actually won like 16 individual awards to Crosby's 11. Crosby has 2 more Stanley Cups when it's all said and done. I don't know if you guys are you close to debating the overall better career here, or is it still an edge because of the 2 extra cups?
You know what?
Because it's insane what both of these guys have done.
I am happy with saying they are both amazing hockey players. I don't really care to argue who's better because they're both just so.
It's nuts
so
though. Like
they're so good.
It's insane.
Yeah, I think like you said, the only thing you can really measure it on, because hockey is a team sport, is the amount of cups. That's the
that's so tough though because it is a team sport though, right? Like so.
Yeah, so if you have a crappy team, how do you penalize a player with how good he was?
Like Crosby had Malkin riding shotgun with him on different line, right? For
does that apply to me?
Who's all the team?
No, those resumes are awesome.
I had kind of given in the whole. I think Ovechkin's they had the better. I'd given in on it, and then when he starts to pile up these Rocket Richards, and then he adds his cup, then he adds the Conn Smythe, and he was dominating in the playoffs. It's kind of becoming a conversation again for me. I think let's see how this finishes,
you can
man.
certainly make an argument for
it. Like if Washington wins another Stanley Cup and Pittsburgh doesn't, then it's right there, man. Like,
and they're the same age, right?
No, Ovechkin is a year older because of the lockout. That's why they came in together.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's insane though. Like those 2 guys.
Ridiculous.
It's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
And, well, he's getting a lot more attention right now just because of the whole goal thing, too, right? So,
well, yeah, he's going to, and but when it's all said and done, you're going to look at it and go, what if he's the all-time leading goal scorer as well?
If he pulls that off and maybe throws another cup in there, I would give the edge to Ovechkin.
Which is crazy to think.
Yeah.
And they might. Washington's a good team again, too. But Pittsburgh's a really good team, too, again. So those 2 guys just keep going. It's absolutely remarkable. All right, so there you go. That is episode 36. What are you thinking over there, Hernan? What do we got?
I didn't lick it.
Oh, episode 36. I didn't lick it. I like it. That's good, boys. All right, so that's going to do it. For Hernan and Cassian and Gager, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Thank you to our sponsors. Popeyes Legendary Louisiana Chicken. Delicious. Sport Clip Haircuts, home of the MVP experience, where it's good to be a guy. And our presenting sponsor, OddsShark. Check them out for all your betting info at oddshark.com. Enjoy your week, everybody. We'll be back on Thursday with episode 37.